What I've got here is an empty canvas, and we need to fill it up. Lately, I've been enthralled with anticipation, anxiously waiting for the new Christopher Nolan film to come out, and to see the story of the father of the atomic bomb. J. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, is a polarizing figure, and I wanted my painting to reflect that. I want the painting to be set in modern time, in a polarizing society, in a street art style that is polarizing by itself. To get started, we first need to color our canvas with something. I'm not worrying about being too precise, as this will receive a couple of more coats later when we try to decay it. I chose a light color, as I wanted to resemble a wall, which is going to get covered by graffiti over time. Now that our wall has been freshly painted, we are going to try and ruin it. This is going to be heavily improvised, as in my head I know what I want to do, but haven't got the slightest clue whether it will work out. I'm applying different dark tones to resemble the wall aging, being through different kinds of weather and left to decay. The brush is very wet at this point. Look at those beautiful shades mixing. I want the wall to have a washed out look. The wall is not supposed to be the main attraction here, as I plan to cover it up with graffiti, just something interesting in the background. At this stage you say to yourself, trust the process, as this looks horrible. Well, it certainly is ruined. This is where I panic and almost lose all hope that this will eventually look like something. The next thing to do is to fill it with graffiti. I'm just covering the background, thinking of words as I go. The messaging is going to be pro and against the bomb, playing into the polarizing theme we mentioned earlier. This text appeared interesting. I found it on Pinterest, I think. Don't remember the author, but the art is very imaginative. Finishing the side that wrote love and peace on the wall, we move on to the side that wrote war in big red letters. As I was drawing the big, bold, red war graffiti, I couldn't help but be reminded of the orcs from Warhammer that chant "War!". We continue covering the wall as much as possible. Ideally, this will look like two sides battling over space on the wall. I still haven't figured out how big I want Oppenheimer to be, as he will be going over this. So I'm drawing everything with detail, even though I imagine he will cover most of it. We finished the large, bold graffiti. Now I want to add some cartoony characters, and a bunch of quotes and messages. The first quote I will be adding is naturally Oppenheimer's most famous citation. "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." These other quotes I just found on Google and thought they go well with the theme. I've decided to draw the Grim Reaper, serving as the symbol for moving on from the living. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was a show I enjoyed as a kid, so this is a nice bit of nostalgia as well. All of this is pretty much straightforward. Add some lines, add some color, and that's it. I don't believe in mistakes when drawing, so when I mess up it just ends up becoming something else. Like that canvas at the beginning became a horrible mess of colors. We can't have a modern art painting without having a reference to modern art. Now can we? I picked Cause for this one. He's currently one of the most famous artists, so this can be our way of showing respect to current art. I like referencing things in my art, so this won't be a one-off. Here comes another reference. This is Courage, the Cowardly Dog, another show that ran on Cartoon Network when I was a kid. Courage represents fear and coming face to face with an unimaginable horror. Alright, the background is done. I'm pretty pleased with the results. We have a little bit of everything. The next step is to add Oppenheimer himself, which is going to be a daunting task. Now, you may be wondering, what is this man doing with an iPad that has a picture of Oppenheimer on it? And the answer to that question is, this is not Oppenheimer. This is Oppenheimer. Cillian Murphy, to be precise. We are going to cheat and make a stencil, as I have no idea how to draw Cillian Murphy's face, and I'm too lazy to practice. When we have found our favorite picture of Cillian Murphy looking sad, we can begin to trace it. I'm keeping this basic, just trying to keep the face proportions right. That is the most difficult thing for me to get right. I'm no good with proportions, hence the cheating. After we have made the stencil, we got it printed, with random looks at the print shop, and this is what it looks like. Eventually, the stencil was cut up and we started tracing it. The reason I don't like using stencils is that I'm really bad at cutting them, and for this drawing I did a really bad job at making it. This should have been a couple of stencils comprised of a few layers. The race to the finish line has started. This is where we contemplate our life choices. Honestly, I did not plan for Oppenheimer to be this big, to cover almost everything we did. Remember when I said I was bad at proportions? As I'm editing this, I'm getting an anxiety, looking at how much was lost and how much time was wasted. But hey, at least we have a beginning for this video. I even covered his famous quote. He had to write it on his head so it didn't go to waste. Oh man, maybe my next video should be me playing Minecraft. The only thing left is to sign it, and here it receives the official stamp of approval. We have come to the finish line, and what a journey it has been. Joking aside, I love how this turned out. It is different from what I had imagined, but great nonetheless. I will get a photo of it in daylight and post it on Instagram, if you are interested in seeing what it really looks like. My name has been Epic Art, and thank you for watching this video.